Hey folks, welcome back to the farm. Today we're back on the fencing. You can see behind me, these are all just jabbed in, ready to be driven, but we've only done a half of them. So this morning's post-breakfast workout is post-drive-in. Now look, I'm not going to moan because everything's easier when you've got a helper, but I haven't got a helper. So I'm just going to crack on and do this. Of course, we could just drive along and chuck one off every 3 meters, jab, 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 happy days, but we haven't got that luxury. So I'm going 3 meter spacings. You can see here, yesterday's 1, 2, 3, jabbed in. I've piloted them using this old bale spike and that's working really well. And then this line is our guide wire. So we're about, well, we are past the corner now, so we're just going to run a straight line all the way along now. I'm getting older. I have to stretch now for these sort of things. I was feeling it yesterday after that first phase, but anyway, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll get through it. Hopefully this afternoon when we're on the petrol machine, which is what this video is all about, that will take the sting out of it a little bit. I mean, this thing's not particularly light. Should have worn my steel toe caps as well. So it's all steam ahead now, getting these posts in. If you haven't seen our previous video, we're using Robinia posts here. They are a hardwood, also known as black locust or false acacia, and they should be a really durable option here with no need to treat or use creosote or anything like that. So down on the meadow here and also around the banks of the lake and up in the hedges, everywhere where we potentially see the kind of posts rotting off, hopefully this is a good way to go. The only issue is you see some of them are a little bit curvy. So you'll notice I'm kind of eyeing these up as I put them in, making sure that the straighter side of the post is in line with our netting. Well, about 4 to go, 5 to go, and then we're up at the strainer. I've got a few jobs to do now. Go and help a friend with a water leak under a tarmac drive and sort the kids out on a play date, and then we'll be back. You thought I'd forgotten, didn't you? Huh? Did you think I'd forgotten? No. Good luck getting in here. Can you perch on there? Sit on there. Looks good, doesn't it? My shoulder is not enjoying this. Right, we're back on it. Half a tube of deep heat, I'm alright. Okay, so we need to start banging these posts in. Unfortunately, I've been sent a toy to play with. This is it. Comes in some sort of military ammo box, but with the absence of a tractor, this hopefully is going to help us. There's a whole bunch of these things on the market, right from the budget imports through to this one, which is supposedly the Rolls-Royce, and it's a 4-stroke Honda engine. Not as heavy as I'm making it look, but we'll wait and see what it's like to use. And this is a post rammer or post driver. In actual fact, it's called the easy post driver. So we're gonna have a go on this, and we need to make sure we've got the right size collet, or the right size adapter for the post we're using. So I'm gonna go and take all 3 that we've been sent, see which one fits best, because apparently that's one of the key things to make sure we get right, so it's not moving around too much. So you release these bungees. You're learning with me here, as usual. So there's the different sizes. That might actually be about right. The thing is, it's not like these are machined posts, so every single one's going to be different. But they want maybe a little bit tight. It says 5mm wiggle room either side. That one I've mushroomed out. 5mm either side. Let's just measure that, see where we are with it. So that is 85mm, which would mean that this suits a 75mm post, and those are meant to be 3 to 4s, but they're more closer to 3, so that should do the job. All right, prime it up. Choke up. Where's the on switch then? Oh, here. Is that on? Yeah. Oh, God, I love a Honda. Right, quick little interlude, because it was all getting a bit achy doing all that fencing. Little bit of a news flash. The calendars are back, or the first calendar is back. This is the prototype. These are all the images that you guys have been voting for over the past few months, whether that's been on Patreon, on Instagram, Facebook, here, on the newsletter. All those have been compiled, and Joe's managed to design us an amazing, beautiful little calendar here. So if you want to get hold of one of these for yourself, then make sure you order one in the next week or so, ideally sooner rather than later, and then Joe can get them all sent off in a nice big batch. They're going to be sent out. There is a small postage charge, but we're also going to be supplying some stickers for both channels coming out for free with each calendar. There's also a nominated charity that some of the profits will be going towards, and here's a little sneak peek of all the months. I'm going to leave it there. Let's get back to this fencing. Good, that. It's not even that noisy. It's harder to level them up because there's no straight sides on these posts. Chicken out of the rain for a little bit. I tell you what, that works way better than I thought it would. I thought it was one of those things I'd try and I'd have to persuade myself that it was working, but I put in 2 by hand yesterday with a post banger, and yes, it's soft ground, yes, they're hard posts, and yes, I piloted it, but that thing is just pretty quiet. It's easy going. It's not screaming like a 2-stroke engine either. It's pretty leisurely. I haven't put them all the way home yet. Like I said, it's just hard to level them up, but once I've got most of them 90% of the way there, then I'll make a decision on how level I'm going to make them. I think it needs to follow the contour, and I think it looks a little bit more natural anyway, but so far so good. The rain is gone. Well, no, it hasn't. Better less than it was. Let's crack on. Right, time for a bit of a copycat hack. So I've decided that I'm just going to go down to 4 feet now, because most of these are pretty level. If there's a big dip further on, I might change my mind at that point, because I can easily backfill the track, but everywhere else is kind of just fairly gradual. So anyway, I want to be able to do this without having to use my level. Obviously I need the level to plumb it up a bit, but I don't need the level each time to get the height right. So this is a little trick I saw on Instagram somewhere. So I've got a random angle grinder tool in the truck, so I'm going to use that. So if we tie that off on here, then we can use this. When I first saw it, I thought he was using it as a plumb bob, which might help as well, but really we just want it for distance. So unless my knot comes undone, in theory, we should be able to just drive down until that bit of steel hits the floor, and then we're good. Right, that should be enough to get us to the far end now. I'm probably rejecting, well not rejecting, but I'm probably only using 2/3 of them, because if I can use them up against hedges, you never stand up and look down the line. So I'm going to be a little bit more fussy on this, because it's the one stretch which you can see. The rest of it, it's fine, it'll be up in the hedge line. Right, it's day 2 or 3 of getting these posts in. Unfortunately, there was a bit of an issue with the post knocker, which is being sorted out, and I'll be able to get cracking on that hopefully tomorrow. But there's a second whole section at the far end which we're going to do a bit of straining. I've just been to pick up some wire. I even managed to get 250 metre roll of wire in the back of the car, so that's handy. So we'll be able to start the netting as well, but today I'm going to be getting the last little bit of bottom strand in. No beating around the bush, I'm going to just crack on with it. Too much dilly-dallying going on. So we're going to go straight in with high tensile wire from this left-hand part, or sorry, right-hand part of the left-hand strainer, just up to the end. It's probably only about 60 meters or so, but let's get that line in, get cracking. Slight change today, we're going gangster, new bling today. We're going to try using this wire puller to get that bottom line in, rather than just relying on the gripple. Look at this. So we've gone on the left hand side of that turner. What I've got to decide is, sorry about the wind by the way, is whether I'm going to follow the curve, and I kind of want to keep this curve. We kept an even 3.5 meters along, and you can see the kind of dark green grass there. So I'm going to put, it won't be a turner, but it'll be a chunkier post. So I'm going to bring it in a bit, and our bigger couple of posts here And we'll basically take the netting on the outside of that curve, and then from there on it's straight run. So I'm sure this fencing is going to get a little bit more tricky when we get into the next field and we're up in the hedges and around the banks of the lake and along the ditches and things like that, but so far so good. So at this point everything is set out and all those stakes are kind of poked in, ready to go. I had to spend half a day banging these last few in by hand because I had a little bit of a hiccup with the post driver. That's all sorted now, so the next batch we should be able to get going pretty soon. Once I've done that, then I can share with you the netting and the sheep net and the wire going in. All of that I'm pleased to say went pretty well, and that'll be in a follow-up video to come. So there we go, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks all for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next video.